bats! Oh! 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 That's wrong! Oh! That's wrong! What the fuck did you think? What the hell I was going to do? Every time I stand in front of you! So you don't have disrespect? How far can you take that bullshit? Now it's time to get this shit on! Oh! That's wrong! Oh! That's wrong! Oh! That's wrong! Oh! That's wrong! Oh! Bats! Oh! Oh!
Hello and welcome to Cinemastrophe. I'm Perignon and I have a penis. You know, toys are an important part of our childhood.
More than just an outlet for the overabundance of a child's energy, toys are the foremost way to mold their creativity. It allows them to use their imagination in ways they most likely wouldn't have thought up on their own. The more creative the toy, the more imagination the child uses. But that's not to say it always works out that way. Sometimes the simplest toy requires the most imagination, while some of the more creative toys turn out to be just pieces of junk. Either way, they still provide us with some of our most fondest early memories.
Which is why I decided to look at some of the best and worst toys of my childhood in a Cinemastrophe special I call Mommy Buy Me That.
Bumbling Boxing is a little portable boxing game that's made by and crank out a Formula One race car in a Mattel's new
Nursery baby, when you
The rat top and eats the ninja.
Well, we might as well start with one of the best. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know why this was so popular. I mean, let's face it. Turtles aren't exactly the coolest animals. Think about it. Do you remember what you and your friend used to do with your pet turtles? Yeah, pretty lame. Yet somehow these guys were anything but lame. There wasn't a kid alive that didn't love the turtles.
I like turtles.
Maybe it was because they were ninjas with kick-ass weapons. The toys were just as awesome as the cartoon, fully posable as a turtle can be, and ready to face the foot. They looked just like they did on the cartoon, except for the different shades of green that was used to tell them apart, which was completely unnecessary because there wasn't a kid in the world who couldn't tell the turtles apart. Hell, it was the parents that couldn't tell them apart. You tell your mom to buy you a Michelangelo and she'd buy you a Raphael. For the third time. They were pretty sturdy too. Breaking one of these fuckers was extremely difficult, unlike some other toys, but we'll get to those later. Starting out with the basic format from the cartoon, the series would later branch out to other forms like the Mutagen Transformation line and characters from the Archie comic series, not to be confused with the real comic series, such as Pizza Face, this roach guy, I don't even know who the fuck that's supposed to be, this thing, and Hooker April O'Neil? However, I always felt the original toy line was the best of the series. You had turtles, ninjas, badass weapons. What else did an 8-year-old boy need? Oh, grow up!
The pizza pie.
only from
Oh, this piece of shit toy was the worst. The commercial made it look all cool and fun, so you begged your mom to buy it, and when you got it home, you found out it was nothing but fucking work. No 8-year-old wants to play anything that requires work. Anyone who had one of these fucking things knows exactly what I'm talking about. I would call it the advanced version of Etch-a-Sketch, but that would be an insult to Etch-a-Sketch because at least that game was fun. You'd open the box all excited and all these colored pegs would come out. You'd maybe make a house, little stick people, some boobs, a dick, and then throw the thing in the fucking corner. Never to be picked up again because no one wanted to play that shit. You'd ask your friends if they wanted to play with it, and they'd look at you like you had 3 heads, and that's only if they didn't hightail it out of your house. What was it the commercial used to always brag about?
turn on the magic of shining light.
Yeah, fucking right. Eat a dick, bright light. Another great cartoon followed by great toys. Like the Ninja Turtle toys, they were pretty sturdy. It took a lot to break one of these suckers.
Yeah, this Panthro has seen some wear and tear. But he's still in one piece.
If I remember correctly, they each did something different, except for Snarf, who was just a plastic paperweight, and every one of them was cool, so you and your friends never had to fight over who was who.
Unless there was 7 of you, then one of you had to be the bad guy. But they would later fix that. However, there was one thing that would make you lord of the neighborhood. The motherfucking cat slayer.
And for good reason. Just look at this thing. It's ginormous. This was the epic toy among toys before everything became epic.
No, seriously, people, you need to stop using that fucking word for everything. Unless you're riding around the world, there's nothing epic about a bike ride.
But the Cat Slayer was epic because it was respect. If your parents bought you a Cat Slayer, you were the man. Everybody wanted to come to your house. It was the biggest and coolest headquarters made, and if I'm not mistaken, still is. Snake Mountain wasn't even this big. Speaking of Snake Mountain,
Is Snake Mountain ready to take on He-Man?
He-Man, another awesome toy line. Unfortunately, He-Man toys weren't as durable as the Turtles or the Thundercats. I used to call He-Man the Frankenstein toy because he was always replacing the arms. Although they would never break, they would pop off pretty easily and you would end up losing them. So I always had to replace mine with another character's arms. The legs, on the other hand, were another story. They were held together by rubber bands, so once they popped, that's all she wrote, unless you took the whole thing apart and replaced it with another character's rubber bands, which you also had to take completely apart. But who was going to spend time doing that?
This guy.
He-Man had some good bases like Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull, but let's face it, they weren't no Cat Slayer.
I'm a motherfucking T-Rex! I'm a motherfucking T-Rex! Oh!
The cast of characters was really unique and appealing to boys, with heroes and villains like Man-at-Arms, Mecha-Neck, Skeletor, Beastman.
Wait, that's Beastman? Now what the fuck is this?
The Universe Collection, He-Man and Battle Cat figures, each sold separately. From Mattel.
Big match at my house. I'll bring my guys. You have yours. I've got Junkyard Dog.
It's World Wrestling Federation Superstars.
I've got...
Yes, yet another failure in the toy industry brought to us by WWF before they became WWE. It wasn't a failure because of bad advertisement, and it wasn't a failure because it had no appeal. It was a failure because they didn't fucking do anything.
Just look at this thing. You can't move his arms, you can't move his legs. He's stuck in this ridiculous pose, so 90% of the time when you put him down, he just fell over. The only thing this thing was good for was bouncing it off your little brother's head.
In the 90s, they did make more action figures that incorporated the term action in the product, but in the beginning, rubber men was all you got. Then again, they were made by LJN, so we should have expected as much.
You're better off doing this. Oh, Piper pins Hogan. 1, 2. Oh, he kicked out. He kicked out. Oh, Piper can't believe it. Oh, look, look. Oh, no. He's Hogan up, big man. He's Hogan up. Look. Oh, oh. You. Same fucking difference.
On the WWF Superstars. Bring home all the action. LJN.
I always bathe my little pony.
So far, I've been focusing on boy toys all this time, and this is why. Girl toys are just lame. Look at this thing. You can't do anything with them but wash and comb their hair, which is one up on the wrestling toys. But still, they don't move, they don't talk, they don't light up. You can't bounce them off your brother's head because they don't bounce. And the wrestling toys are back on top. Hell, they actually describe all you're able to do in the commercial song.
Comb and brush her hair. My little pony, my little pony. Tie a ribbon to show how much I care.
Is this all that girls got to do with their toys?
Why did they grow up to be bitches? You'd be a bitch too if you spent your entire childhood combing hair and changing fake diapers. Don't worry, ladies. I understand your pain. Together we can stand up against the oppression of your gender, against the evil corporate toy manufacturers. Ow.
Sold separately. Collect the... Creepy crawlers, creepy crawlers.
This is another one of those I just didn't get growing up. It was one of those toys that tried to appeal to the gross side of young boys, but really was just junk. You and your friends would sit around making these fake insects that you just end up throwing in the fucking trash. It's not like there was anything else you could do with them. The rights got sold around a lot because for some odd reason, companies were determined to make this thing work. So you got a lot of variations of the same things, like the ones that could stick through walls or the ones you could eat. But in the end, it was simply window dressing for the same old crap. I mean, why would I pay $10 for Dr. Dreadful's lab when I can go buy a bag of gummy worms for 50 cents?
Food lab makes gross things again and again. It's totally
She's so pretty. Let's get ready for the party. Let's comb her hair.
Mattel's most successful toy line, Barbie, has been around over 50 years and still going strong. Out of all the toys, both boys and girls, this one never fell from the top of the mountain. I think the reason this one is so successful is, 1, there are more girls in the world than boys, and 2, you can do more than just comb and wash their fucking hair. You can change her clothes. You can put makeup on her. You can drive her around in a car. You can buy her a fucking house? Jesus Christ, look at the size of that fucking thing. It takes up half your child's bedroom. It has 2 floors fully furnished with 6 fucking rooms. What the hell?
Boy, was I playing with the wrong toys.
I'm a motherfucking T-Rex! I'm a motherfucking T-Rex!